And thank you Vietnam guys, for staying the course, because it's been a long haul for you, much longer than mine. And thank you for coming. And I hope you feel it's worthwhile.
Oh, absolutely.
So, you know, keep going. And one of my great inspirations, Dan Ellsberg, who went through a similar process to myself. Anyway, I won't go on much longer, but I just want to tell you that the particular reason that I'm standing here is the story that I have written in this book. And I'm sorry if this looks like a bit of a crude commercial, but it's actually the reason I'm in this country at the moment. I had an aunt called Hilda Murrell, who some of you may have heard of. It's a long time ago. It's 28 years. And it just shows how long these things take. But I finally got around to writing the story about her murder. And she was an anti-nuclear energy campaigner in 1984. And she was also anti-nuclear weapons. She inspired me to come out against nuclear energy and then eventually nuclear weapons. But it was very tough. It took a long time. And one of the reasons that I did it was because I learned that basically she had been assassinated. It's not really a murder case. This is a case of assassination, and it's very bad, very complicated. It's been heavily covered up, and I've now nearly got to the truth. But I'm over here to make sure that this book, which has had to be printed in great secrecy, even in New Zealand, because of the power of the British state to try to stop the truth coming out. And I can tell you that I have good reason to believe that my aunt was in fact taken out by the British state. And I'm now being harassed by the British state, even in New Zealand, for daring to write this book and to try and get some truth and try to stop it happening again, because I'm afraid I'm shortly going to be going down to visit Dr. David Halpin, who is a pathologist who is championing the David Kelly case. Now there's another guy, I warn you, that he's another case. And unless we actually stand up and pursue this and work together on these problems, they're going to do it again and again with impunity under this mask that this is the mother of democracies. And they do it in the States all the time, and it's a lie. And one of the problems is that, at least in the totalitarian state, you know where you stand, that these thugs are there. But here, they pretend that they play cricket. And they don't, I'm afraid. So we've got to stand up. And the good news is that Michael Mansfield QC is coming behind this case now. And we're hoping we're going to get parliamentary pressure in the next couple of months. And we're going to get a reopening of the case. There's a guy in jail who was framed, a 16-year-old boy at the time, truant, from a foster home, enticed into the appalling operation that went on to abduct and then interrogate my aunt for what she might have known about the Falklands and about nuclear energy and weapons, and then she had to be disposed of. And I just want to say one final personal thing, is that one of the reasons that I believe she was taken out was because I was an intelligence officer in the Northwood bunker, and it was to do with the sinking of the Argentine cruiser, the General Belgrano, which severely, well, there was a campaign by a maverick politician called Tamdiel, he's still alive, because he was being fed some very good information to show that, in fact, that ship should not have been torpedoed in cold blood because it was not actually inside the exclusion zone. And Mrs. Thatcher badly needed a full-blooded war because her political career was on the rocks. And the Navy saved her political skin, and then she got embarrassed because she had allowed, in fact probably ordered, that ship to be sunk deliberately in order to make sure she got a war, because it looked like they were going to have a ceasefire and it was all going to be over with this skirmish. And so there are a lot of people who've got a lot of stuff to hide about that one, and it's 30 years to the day coming up in about 2 weeks' time. I will be back in New Zealand by then, but I hope that there'll be a bit of a fuss about the truth about that. But I can assure you, I didn't nick any documents, but someone certainly was feeding TAMDL, and they are trying to cover all that up. It's a very big and nasty secret. So anyway, look, thank you for listening to me rambling on. I wish you well, and keep going.